Hey everyone, welcome back. My name is Rohan Bijou, and today we're going to look at a monitor, and it's called the Samsung Odyssey G5. So if you've been looking for monitors, you've probably heard of the G9 and G7, and they were really great monitors, but the price point was a bit too high. So Samsung released some budget-friendly versions, the G5, and it comes in 3 different sizes. And this comes at around $340, which is way cheaper than the G9 and G7. And I do have some thoughts on that monitor. So in this video, I'm going to do an unboxing. I'm going to give you the specs, and I'm going to give you my thoughts on those specs. Then I'm going to finally give you my final thoughts on this product and my experience with this monitor. So before we begin the video, I just wanted to shout out Lit Custom Shop at Natick Mall. They're awesome. They made me this custom sweatshirt, and it's absolutely amazing. The customer service is amazing. The quality of the sweatshirt, it's so soft, and the print is so high quality. So if you do want any custom clothing, you can just hit them up and they'll deliver the best product you can imagine. So without further ado, please subscribe to the channel if you want to watch more videos like this. Please hit the like button if you like this video and if you found this very helpful, and comment any questions or concerns and I'll try my best to answer them. So without further ado, welcome to Techno Review. So first things first, let's begin the unboxing. So as you can see, the design of the box is really great, and let's see if the monitor is as good as the design. Okay, so now let's begin opening the box, and let's first take out the monitor. And when you take it out, you can immediately notice the curve, and I just gotta say, it's the most curved monitor I've probably held. Let's take that out and look inside, and inside you'll find an HDMI cable, a power cable with the brick, some documentations, the neck of the monitor, and finally the V-shaped base of the monitor. The neck and the base is completely made out of plastic, but I just gotta say it's pretty solid. Let's connect the base and the neck by screwing them together. Alright, let's pull the monitor outside of the sheet and take a look. As I said before, you can immediately notice the curve, and the design of the monitor itself is pretty unique. The back itself has some ridges, which makes it look amazing in certain lighting, and there is a circular section in the middle. This is where all the ports are held, and the 75 by 75 VESA mount is located here. The front also looks stunning with an almost bezel-less design, and there are 2 exhaust vent looking pieces on the right and left of the monitor, which I have mixed feelings about. It looks okay. There is also a joystick in the middle of the bottom of the monitor for easy access. And now let's connect the monitor to the stand. The process of joining these 2 parts were pretty hard for me, and I almost dropped the monitor, but I was able to put them together. And first impressions, it felt a bit unstable on the stand itself. It looked like it was about to fall off. It was a bit, wiggly. So that's it for the unboxing. So now let's move on to the specs. All right, so let's talk about the specs and some pros and cons of that specs. First, the price of the monitor is $340, and this is the budget-friendly version of the G9 and G7, as I mentioned before. The screen is a 32-inch VA panel, and this does come with 2 different sizes, a 27-inch monitor and a 34-inch monitor. The specs are all the same between the monitors, and the only differences are the screen sizes and the prices. The screen of the monitor is 1440p at 144Hz, and this has an amazing pixels per inch, which is around 93 pixels, and this is pretty great for a 32-inch monitor. Since the stats are the same between different screen sizes, you can expect a larger PPI for a 27-inch monitor because of the smaller screen size and the same resolution as a 32-inch. And a lesser PPI for a 34-inch since it has a larger screen and the same resolution. The contrast ratio for the G5 is 2500 by 1, which is great compared to other IPS screens, which is usually 1000 to 1. Since the contrast ratio is so great, you can get really deep blacks and shadows, which can add to the image quality of the game you're playing. One con is that the peak brightness isn't that high, so just keep that in mind. It only hits 250 nits, which is good for indoor gaming in like a dim room, which I guess most people are gonna use it. No one's gonna sit in the middle of their lawn in a sunny day and just start playing video games, right? The refresh rate that Samsung states is about 1 millisecond, but in actuality, when other reviewers tested this, it was about, like 4 milliseconds. But it's still great. Alright, so let's get into the best part about this monitor, the 1000R curve. The feature is absolutely mind-boggling because it matches the exact curve of your eye and it immerses you right into the game. This might be the one and only reason some people may be even buying this monitor, and I just gotta say, it's totally worth it. The G5 screen is an 8-bit panel and it covers 100% of the sRGB color space, and it doesn't have wide color gamut support. Let's talk about ghosting. Since this is a VA panel, you can expect some ghosting because most VA panels have this, and the G5 is no different. But you'll have to look extra hard to even notice that. Next, let's talk about the menu. It has a very cool gamer-like design, sort of like a race car, and you can change all the settings right there, like the color profile or the response time, and use this conveniently placed joystick, which is in the middle of the monitor instead of the left or right, as I said before. The menu is very easy to navigate, and it's a huge plus for me. The G5 is G-Sync compatible for NVIDIA card owners, and it does support AMD FreeSync for buttery smooth gaming. Alright, so let's talk about another con. The stand. I mean, it's not terrible, but it's pretty bad for Samsung standards. It's made completely out of plastic and there is no metal to be found. The tilt is very minimal and you have to really force it to tilt. And if you're looking for a versatile monitor, this one isn't for you. The build quality isn't very premium and feels cheap, but hold up, you may be thinking the VESA mount might, compensate for that. Sort of, in a way. The VESA mount is a 75 by 75 millimeter mount, which is a very bad move by Samsung because many monitors I know use 100 by 100, and if you have a 100 by 100 mount, you'll need to get a 75 by 75 mount separately, and that costs extra money. And overall, it's a pretty bad move by Samsung. Alright, so now let's talk about the ports. On the back, there is one 3.5mm audio out port, there is one HDMI 2.0 port, there's one version 1.2 display port, and one USB service port, and one power port. The power is supplied via a small external power brick that is 2.9 inches by 2.6 inches, which is not too large, and all the cables can be routed via a cable management clip that is on the rear of the monitor stand, which is also another nice feature. So that is basically it for the specs. So now let's move on to my final thoughts and my experience with this monitor. Overall, this monitor is great for general use. So if you're casually playing games or if you're going to use this for work or school, this would be a great monitor. But if you're a really hardcore gamer who like games like 4 hours a day or are a professional and you compete in like esports tournaments, I don't think this one would be for you. I would actually recommend an IPS monitor with a higher refresh rate and better specs. But currently, I really like that Samsung created a budget-friendly version of the G9 and G7. My personal experience with this monitor was amazing. I really loved the 1000 arc curve a lot, and it was extremely immersive. I played Batman Arkham Knight on my Xbox One X, which is a great game to test the contrast ratio because there's a lot of darks and blacks in the game, so you can really test the contrast ratio. And it was really good. I also played games like Forza Horizon, Battlefront 2, and many other games, and I had a really good experience. Since the maximum refresh rate of the Xbox is only 120Hz, I couldn't test the 144Hz of the monitor itself. But my dad, on the other hand, used this monitor for his work, and he actually used a flat monitor before, and when he switched to the curved one, it was kind of uncomfortable, but he started getting used to it after daily use. There are some minor problems, like, if you're looking at an Excel sheet or a Google Sheets, you can see when you look at the row, it's a big curve, so it's hard to know where which each curve is when you're looking at it. It's pretty complicated. There's some screens, some things may be hard to do on this monitor. So if there are two people using this monitor, the viewing angles are sort of bad because if you look at from a certain angle, it looks really distorted, which is not that great. But if you're using it alone for gaming, it's absolutely amazing. So that is it for this video. So please like this video if you found this helpful. Comment any questions or concerns you have and I'll try my best to answer them. The links for the product are in the description, and subscribe to this channel if you want to watch more future content like this. And right here is the monitor playlist. I've done many monitor reviews before, so playlist is right here. And if you want to subscribe to my channel, it's right here. So thank you guys for watching. Catch you in the next one. Peace.